on, buddy. There you okay. Oh. Wow, interesting. Welcome to Free America. This is Mark Connors. Who's calling? Where are you calling from, please?
Hi, Mark. This is the first time I've called. My name is Tori. I'm Zenna in the chat stream.
Hi, Tori. How you doing? Welcome to the show. It's so awesome to have first-time callers. We love to hear from you guys.
Well, I'm having a hard time hearing you. Hang on a second. Let me go out of the room. Are you still there?
Yes, ma'am. I sure am. Tori, right?
Yeah.
I like that
From
name.
Cincinnati.
Tori. That's cool. Tori from Cincinnati, first-time caller.
I really just wanted to kind of get some information about what you guys are doing here because I'm kind of new to all of it, and I've asked questions in the chat stream, but I don't really seem to get a lot of answers, and I'm not sure who to listen to.
Okay.
Like who's trolling, who's not.
Right. I understand that very much.
What is the mission of your channel?
Our mission of our channel is to spread, first of all, to let everybody know that we are God-loving, respecting, red, white, and blue, patriot American people. That's the first thing that we would like for everybody to see and know about us. The second thing that we'd like for everybody to see and know about us is that we want to share the word of freedom. We want to investigate it. We want to reveal it. We want to show how it's being lost, why it's being lost, where it's going, who's responsible, who, what, where, when, and why. We want to share as much knowledge as we can that is true knowledge, as much as we can. Sometimes it's a little hard. But one of the most important things about this show, Tori, is that you get to come on and speak what you want to say. You get to come on this show and say, this is what concerns me. This is why it concerns me. This is who's concerning me. This is when it's concerning me. And this is what I want to see happen. Does anybody else agree? And we give you the opportunity to speak to the world.
Oh, okay. So it's just sort of like an open forum for people to express what they know or think about.
Share their knowledge. Share the knowledge. There's too many people out here that don't have the knowledge, and there's a lot of people that that would like to learn more, but they go, "Oh my gosh, these people are tin hat people. They're conspiracy theorists," and But when somebody else comes in and says, "Hey, wait a minute here. You know what? All you need to do is watch the show. You don't need to participate in anything. Take a listen and investigate for yourself." And then if you ever have anything that catches your mind or your eye or your ear that you think is out of the ordinary or maybe something that people would need to hear, then call in the show and share it with us, because we don't know that information yet. And we need that information so we can make balanced, mature, reasonable decisions on how we handle the situations that are taking place in our country at this time. That's what this show's all about, Tori.
So you're not really affiliated with any type of are you affiliated with a group or
no? This is our
agenda.
We are affiliated.
Sort of dealing with the problems that we're having in our country and worldwide sometimes.
Exactly, we are affiliated with the people. That's who runs this show, is the people, and that's who you'll hear. You'll hear the people's voice, just like everybody's listening to you right now, Tori. And there's somebody else right now sitting here listening to the show, going, "Check it out! There's a first-time caller, and she's acting like me. She doesn't know what to think. She doesn't know yet. She's curious. I need to call in also and find out. I need to learn, because this show could be a blessing to my life." From the knowledge.
Right, because I think I've gotten confused as I've watched, because there's so many different types of things that are being said and talked about, and sources being used, and
now why does that
kind of hard for me sometimes when I'm listening, and then I'm like, oh, but that's not what I know about that.
That's why.
Here are some facts that you're not talking about.
That's what exactly. That's when you call in. Right after you hear that call, you call it and say, "Wait a minute, guys, check this out. Look at this. Hey, everybody, go to this site real quick. All of you that are listening right now, go to this site. Check it out. Look what I found." Boom. And then all of us follow you to that site, and we see what you're seeing, and you tell us, "See, look at that right there. See what it says right there? That's not true. And we all go, oh, check it out. Tori brought it to our attention that that's not true. That the last caller did not do their investigations correctly. The last caller made something up or shot whatever in the air. And we get the opportunity, all of us.
It's so hard with so much information out there. And the way that the news media portrays things, it's very easy to come to assumptions or belief systems based on what type of news source you're listening to. I mean, it's very interesting because even news sources, trusted news sources for me, I've looked at what they've said and I'm like, wait a minute, is this really what's happening?
Right.
And then you look and they skew something that to make it look a certain way. And they do it everywhere. They do it on Fox News. They do it on MSNBC. They do it on CNN. All of the corporate news media. I don't care where it's coming from. They do it everywhere.
That's right. They spin it. They spin it.
I think forums like this are really important so people can really, really see beyond what the agenda of whatever the news person is saying to you is. Because there's always an agenda when it comes to corporate media.
Yes, that's absolutely true.
You know what I'm saying?
So how long, Tori, how long have you been watching the show?
Just a couple of weeks.
Really? And what's your opinion of our show? By the way, welcome to your show.
I find some of it a little worrisome in the fact that there seems to be a lot of kind of conspiracy stuff that's talked about.
Now wait a minute. Wait a minute. Let's make sure we understand conspiracy theories or conspiracies that is talked about.
Well, like conspiracy theory stuff. Things that aren't necessarily where we've got like fact-based things. It's like one person's word against another person's word. This person said that, and then these people are saying this. But there's no real definition of this is really happening. And I'm not saying that it's not, because some conspiracy theories do come to be
conspiracies, yes.
But it's important to know what we really do know versus what people are saying.
Hey, Tori, can I ask you a question? Do you know who shot John F. Kennedy?
Not really.
So at this time, I think
it was Lee Harvey Oswald.
So at this
killed him, but there's obviously fact around that people can't explain.
So at this time,
unless it's actually explained and brought out to be the truth, then it's a conspiracy.
No, there you go. It's a conspiracy theory, yes. So obviously you now consider at this point in time in your life right now that there is a conspiracy theory that Oswald is not the person that shot President Kennedy, that there could be another shooter, another couple of shooters, or actually even 7 more shooters. So are those that right now you would classify that in your mind as a conspiracy theory, correct?
Right.
Okay. I can show you in 30 seconds. I can change your mind in 30 seconds. It'll go
I
from...
don't think you're going to, because I've watched other things that prove that he was the lone shooter. Other, where they've done actually computerized simulations of the bullet and how it went and all of that kind of stuff.
Let me ask you. I understand, Tori. I understand. I understand what you're saying. Do you know about anybody that was in the street, in the sewer drains? The little round things that are on the sidewalks, and then they have that hole that you go and the water rushes down into. Do you know anything about the conspiracy theory, in your mind anyway, that there was a shooter down in that hole there that shot President Kennedy from the front, not from the back? So right now, to you right now,
I've never heard that theory.
To you, that's a conspiracy theory. To me, it's a fact, because I did investigate it and I found out, wow, that's the only way that could have happened. It's the only way. There had to be a shooter right there in that drain. From the angle, from the scientific studies.
Ultimately, you would kind of have to be, to find out all the information, look at everything that they have, everything that the government said, everything that the witnesses said, you would have to lay it all out,
right,
and all of the different types of theories that people have had,
right,
and then try to decipher what makes the most sense.
right.
Because ultimately, I'm not sure that we're ever going to truly know. And I don't really want to spend a lot of my time focusing on those types of issues,
right,
because what my main concern is the corporate control of the United States.
Right. All I was trying to do, Tori, I wasn't trying to be, disrespectful in any way.
No, it's okay.
I was trying to show,
Totally cool.
I was trying to show people that there are two ways of looking at everything, and the only way.
Yeah, definitely. But it's when we can come together and I can be open to what you're saying,
right,
and you can be open to what I'm saying.
No way.
Look at it together, and then make an informed decision based on what people know.
No way, man. The history books are all right. They didn't lie to us. You're wrong. You're wrong. You're wrong. You sound like a terrorist. You sound like a tin hat lady.
What?
Tori,
were you being sarcastic?
No, Tori, I can tell. You need to watch some of my earlier shows. I like to be funny. Really, what I just said wasn't directed towards you.
Right.
It was directed towards other people that think a different way. Without me being rude to them, I could say to you jokingly, "No, you're a tin hat lady. You could blah 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 blah." No, there's all kinds of things that are going on in this world, and I can tell that Tori knows some of them. So I would love to hear, as a first-time caller, Tori, we would love, all of us would love to hear anything that you want to share with us that we can learn from. That will help us with our knowledge, with our skills, and open the doors to bringing the next caller in with more information on what you had even. So I was not in any way, man, being sarcastic to you. If that's why I asked you how long you've been watching the show.
I'm okay with sarcasm, by the way.
But I'm not. I'm not being sarcastic.
It's okay to have sarcasm.
No.
I see it as a sense of humor as well.
That's what it is. Just a sense of humor. That's all.
I find it interesting because I come from a very liberal mindset, okay?
Uh-huh.
And I know that there are people that are listening to this right now that are very anti-liberal in their thinking. And I've actually been called names in the chat.
Really?
Based on some of the things that I've said.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't really like
Doesn't
the
surprise
labels.
me.
And I think a lot of you guys are really trying to break through. That we are all just people trying to figure this crap out, knowing that there's something really, really wrong, that the corporations are controlling our government, that we don't really have a say in what's happening in our government, and that we need to be united as people together. Not let these labels separate us. I think that is so crucial. Because it's hard for me, I mean, when you're raised in that, and I know for conservatives, they're raised with this idea, the bad liberal, evil, or, the liberal side, the conservatives, they're bad, bad, bad. But ultimately, don't we just want the same? We want to have our country and our freedom and our rights preserved.
Yes. That's why we're all supposed to be working together.
I'm about building bridges.
Me too.
That's what I'm about.
Me too. And not burning any. And not burning any.
Come together with people that may not necessarily think exactly the way I do, but we can work together. Because I'm getting concerned about the divide in our country.
And I'm...
that we're actually moving to places with like-minded people. The demographics of the United States is changing in a way that we're in little groups, separating ourselves from each other. And we aren't going to take care of anything doing that.
No, it's like a group gathering off to the side and having their own discussions about what we should be doing when there's a whole bunch of people that need to listen to them. And there's a whole bunch of people out there in the world that we need to listen to, and we need to bring them into the show. We need to bring them back onto the show so that other people can learn what they're talking about, listen to what they're talking about, even if they don't want to participate. Now, Tori, let me ask you something. Why did you call in on the show today? This is your first call.
Well,
Go ahead.
I had asked a couple of questions in chat, and I thought, well, you were talking about calling, and I thought, well, I'll go straight to the horse's mouth and find out what this is all about.
That's right. That's what needs to happen right now.
I wanted to call. And also, I'm interested about your new forum that you're going to be using. There's no chat involved with that one?
No. This is
where is it, and how do you use it?
There's a separate show. It's called The Connors Report. And what it does is basically mirror, throughout the day, it mirrors what Free America is doing, and it breaks it down into segments and what have you. That show over there does not have a chat box. That show over there is completely free of anybody's opinions unless they call on the show. And that's what we want, is we want people to speak. We don't want anybody hiding behind names in chats. We don't want anybody hiding their face. If they want to show their face, they can be more than welcome to show their face on Skype, because that show also has Skype with it.
Okay, so is it actually mirroring what's on this channel, or is it going to be its own content?
No, it's going to have its own content, but it's going to, without the day, through... I'm sorry, one second. I'm sorry, Tori, one second.
No problem.
Okay. It mirrors throughout the day what's going on, but it will also have its own segments. In other words, one show will be consistently an hour of nothing but up-to-date today news. Stuff that really matters, not the bubblegum stuff. There will be, all of our hosts have the opportunity now to go over to that program and host a show. Well, let's say that they have a bunch of stuff they want to cover still. And they can go over there and shoot the show and host the show and record it, or be live, whichever one they want to do. I would prefer them record it, and then that stuff can go on the show during dead time, see? But that show over there doesn't have a chat. That's the only thing that's different there, other than, and also the fact that we cover different topics. Different people will be calling in with different attitudes and different personalities, and it's open to everybody to call in from anywhere at any time. This show here, Mark Connors Free America, has a chat box in there at the bottom that I don't pay any attention to, because all it does is piss me off.
I understand.
Yeah, so I eliminate
a live stream channel with content and things too, so I know how it can be.
Yeah, so we've eliminated that.
A chat stream running. I think that the chat can be very beneficial for people.
Mm-hmm,
I think it can make people feel like they're part of it.
Sure.
Without, if they're too nervous about calling in, or
exactly.
they feel like they don't have anything to say that matters.
Exactly.
I don't know. You know how people can be with. It's a way to draw people in.
Exactly. It's
you
there.
Can maintain a chat stream that is functional.
Right.
Which is hard.
We only have one rule over there on our chat stream, which some people seem to not obey. Common courtesy. Respect. That's all we ask. And many, 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 many people broke that. They couldn't even have common courtesy, common respect. And so when they voiced their opinion, they would do something like go, "Oh yeah, this show is really a bummer. Mark's gay."
Mm-hmm.
Did it? Hey guys, I want my freedom of speech over here. Did you guys all know Mark is gay?
I mean, there's always going to be those people, and I know that people can get very worked up when they're having debates. But it's really hard to have a good debate in a chat stream, especially one like Ustream, where it's limited to so many
words. Yeah, so many words and so many and so many restrictions too. Yeah.
Which I have to say, whoever did the show last night, the forum that they were using was kind of a group where people just weighed in together. I guess they were using Skype. Not sure, because they didn't have like video of what they were using, but I think more forum like that would be really beneficial if people feel like they can be involved that way.
Well, that's
I know there are some people who don't have microphones or don't have cameras.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's right. That's why we have to be able to do both. We have to be able to take phone calls, and we have to be able to take Skype. And we've been watching for the last week or so just to see how the roundtable thing is going, and see how there's only one negative to the roundtable.
And what's that?
Oh, well, they seem to have it off the show too. And while they're discussing things off the show, those people get off the show and then they hang out still and talk, and all of that stuff's so important for our people to hear. I've sat in on their roundtables at night when there's nobody, when we're not even on the air, and there's 10 people still talking, still sharing information, stuff that we need so desperately bad that the people need to hear. And that's why I wish that and the people know who I'm talking about. I love every single one of them. I wish they would do it on the show. I wish they'd have that round table late at night. Say, hey, we're going to stay up for another 3 hours, Mark. Okay, we'll leave the live button on for you there, bro. Here's the kill switch for whoever's hosting this round table tonight. Shut it off when you're done. There's more hours right there of people being able to learn and listen. People from around the world that watch this show in the middle of the night, they have nothing to watch but replays. They can't call in on the show.
Right.
So that's why we've tried to go.
But when they do the round table, they don't take call-ins, right?
No, they don't. And that's why it needs to be broken up. 15 minutes of round table, and then, a half hour, an hour of calls, and then 15 minutes of round table, and invite everybody that wants to get in on the round tables to do so. We are going to be doing them on the other shows also. We've just been wanting to watch for a little while and see how it's being handled and how it's working out, work out all the bugs on one part of the show, which Jeff is doing a good job at. And now Ricky's starting to do it too. And Jennifer Mills and myself and Fireman John will also be doing it too eventually here. My show real soon, and Jennifer's show real soon too. So that the round table will be open to the world, but at the same time, so will the phones.
Yeah, I think that would be nice.
Mm-hmm.
It would be nice to incorporate some of the chat in if there's a way to do it without, like getting into the battling between chatters.
Yeah, soon that'll be over.
Because
we're working.
That's a nice forum for people who feel like they can't get in. Like, I know because I was on it, and, I'm not on the round table or anything. But there were facts that they had said, and I was like, putting it in chat, things that, like, somebody made mention of Obama's executive orders, and saying that Obama had the most executive orders of any other president, which is not a true fact. Now, I'm not saying that his executive orders are a good thing, okay?
How many executive orders has he had?
About it, let's be real.
Okay, Tori, let's be real. Tori, can I ask you so that we can all learn, how many executive orders has Mr. Obama executed?
I believe it was 180 something, and like Jimmy Carter did 320. I looked it up to see the exact numbers.
Mm-hmm.
I don't have them off the top of my head,
mm-hmm.
but he's had less executive orders than 4 of the last 5 presidents. The only one that he didn't have less than, which was George Bush the first, he had 160 something, I believe, and that was probably because he was a single-term president.
Yeah, give Mr. Obama. Give Mr. Obama time.
And George W. were 2 terms.
Give Mr. Obama time. He'll double it.
I like to talk about things in terms of what's really happening.
Uh-huh.
I was an Obama supporter.
Was?
I wanted the change he talked about. Okay?
Yes, we all did.
And I knew when he was saying all of this stuff. president can only do so much. He only has so much
That's
power.
right. That's right.
And really, ultimately, at this point, the president is controlled by the corporations as well as the Congress. I mean, our whole country. All of the money and politics and everything runs the show. So for us to look for our elected leaders at this point to be anything other than corporate shills is kind of redundant, or like doesn't make a lot of sense.
I agree.
And what I would love to see happen is that people unite to try to get rid of that corporate control of our government, to get rid of Citizens United, to get rid of all of this money that gives our voice nothing. So that's what I want to work for, and I think there's a lot of people that are with you guys that feel like that.
How did you hear of the show, Tori?
I'm sorry, go ahead.
How did you hear of the show?
Sorry, what was that?
How did you hear of our show?
How did I hear of it? Was that the question?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. That is.
I actually heard about it through a couple of other people that I talk with online, from Occupy movement. I'm not sure how they got in contact with the show or how they found out about the show.
And what did somebody just say? Hey, here's this link to this show, or what did they say to you?
Yeah, they were like, "Here's a link. Check this out." And we were trying to figure out what it was. Like, who are these people and what are they actually doing? Because we're always looking for ways to connect with people that are looking, for the kind of change that we're trying to do.
So as a new listener and as a new viewer and as a first-time caller, what are you thinking so far of our show? Your show, Tori.
I think it's a great forum. I really do. I think it would be nice to have some kind of more voices, different voices. Not necessarily just people who are agreeing with each other.
Right. That's right. It needs to be somebody like, like yourself, a new caller that calls in and says, hey, look, this is my opinion here. I came here to check you guys out. I want to feel you out. I want to get to know you. Talk to me. Let's talk for a little while. That's what needs to happen. And our show, Tori, I will tell you, I've never seen a great bunch of people in my life all in one area, in one place, honestly, that really are truly, sincerely concerned about our country and really, truly concerned about you and concerned about our families. And there's a lot of people here on this show that feel that way. And then, of course, we got a couple of nimrods, numbnuts, that,
I think when I came to it, I thought, oh no, this is going to be some really crazy people that I'm not sure that I can connect with, or I'm not really sure what this is all about, and what I did find interesting is that while I listened to try to find a deeper, what was really what people were really talking about, is that I thought, well, that's right. What he's talking about, I agree with that. What this person's saying, there's a lot of times where I think, oh, no, that's not how I think about that at all. But, whenever you can find a connection with people that you think you might not agree with, or that you don't have the same mindset of, I think is a good thing. And actually the first show I listened to was Fireman John.
Okay.
And I thought, I like this guy. I think this guy's pretty cool.
He's easy to like, sure. He's a great man.
So, it was worth taking some more time. Because if you just come in and you see the chat and then, you get bombarded with people calling you a libtard or, making fun of Occupy or whatever it is, you can be put off. But because I listened to what was going on the channel versus what was happening in the chat, I thought, maybe there's something that I can connect with.
Did you find something?
You know,
Did you find something, Tori?
yeah, I think so. I mean,
Do you
I
know?
think it's a really good thing, you know, and I'm always growing and evolving too, and I'm always trying to let down my, you know, prejudice and my thoughts about people.
Uh-huh.
And I really think that, you know, while sometimes I disagree with how we're going to go about fixing stuff, I see the goodness in the people and what they really want to do.
Mm-hmm.
And I think you guys as hosts have tried really hard to not be, what do I want to say? Kind of buying into all of the hype and the ugly part of it.
Mm-hmm.
I've heard your hosts, you know, downscale people, like, you know, just let's calm down, let's talk rationally, you know, about things, which I really appreciate. I think that's really great.
Yeah, I heard that. I heard something today that I was like going, oh my gosh, check this out. Anyway, but everything's fantastic. So you found, hey, Tori, you know what? Can I say something to you?
Mm-hmm.
Did you know that I loved you?
Well, thank you.
Are you married?
I love you too.
Are you married?
I love everybody. And you know, I have
Tori,
to
are you
say
married?
this,
Tori, are you married?
I
Tori,
was first
hold
there,
on.
and I felt like I was getting attacked.
I gotta
for,
check.
Like, what
I gotta
was
make sure
saying,
I
or,
correct
you
this.
know, the label that people put on me in the chat, and it wasn't anybody, because obviously this is the first time I've called in, so nobody on the air or anything ever made me feel that way.
Tori, are you married?
I got off of there, and I went to bed, and I prayed for them. I said, you know, I really, it made me feel so bad that there are people that have that kind of hate in their heart.
Mm-hmm.
And I prayed, God, please let that hate that these people have and these prejudice, you know, dissipate from them.
Tori, can I ask you a question? Are you married?
Mm-hmm.
Are you married?
I'm in a committed relationship.
Does your partner have any problem with me telling you that I love you on the show?
Oh, no. No, I don't think so.
Does he have any problem with you telling me you love me on the show?
Oh, no, I tell people I love them all the time.
That's right. That's right.
Because I truly do.
Yes, because we do.
I believe that love is the only thing that's going to conquer hate.
Oh, most definitely.
And we've got to share love with each other no matter where you are.
That's why I wanted to tell you that I loved you. And I didn't want you to think I was hitting on you or anything.
Oh, no.
I'm sure if I was looking at the chat right now.
A little bit,
oh, I'm sure.
People don't do that.
Okay, you know what? That's something that I want you to pay attention to, Tori. What you just now said. Most people don't do that. Well, that's what you're going to get at this show, ma'am. That's what you're going to get.
I really appreciate you taking the time to talk with me, Mark.
You're very welcome.
And explain some stuff to me about what you guys are doing.
You're very welcome. And anybody that messes with you, just call me and I'll send the motorcycle gang over to their house.
I think I can handle myself.
I'm just kidding.
But thanks. Thanks for having my back.
You're welcome, ma'am. Tori, is there anything else that you would like to share with us today?
No, that's it.
Well, you've been fantastic. You've been a great first caller.
Well, thanks.
Awesome first caller. Will you call?
I'll try to call in and weigh in on some stuff.
Yes, please do. And have you seen?
We're talking about issues and things.
Have you seen Jennifer Mills' show?
Just briefly. I didn't have a lot of time to see.
She could use call-ins. Her show's new, so everybody's trying to get used to her schedule and her coming in and everything. She could sure use a little bit of support over there with phone calls to keep things rolling and talk about certain things. And I found that you ladies, when you're together, you talk